So Dan, let's say that your brain is hanging out of your face.
Right.
Okay. Your brain is coming out of your nose. It's trying to escape from its skull. You're in a lot of pain because your brain isn't where it should be. It's like slowly collapsing outside of your cranium.
Mm-hmm.
And it needs fixing. Basically, if you don't get it fixed within the next hour, you are, well, unfortunately, going to perish and die. Where would you rather go and get this fixed? I've got options. Number one, go to your mum.
Right.
Maybe mum can fix it.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, go to the local doctor.
Yeah.
Or number three, a brain surgeon.
Brain surgeon, easily.
Oh, it's a tough one. Right. Who do you think charges more? Is it your mum, the doctor, or the brain surgeon?
Brain surgeon, obviously.
It's a very good point. So you're saying that if you need specialist help, that specialist can charge more for their services?
That makes sense.
Oh man, it's like we've stumbled across something here. Welcome to Viral Recruiters, where we help recruiters, directors, owners, and marketers with their marketing. Everything that we talk about should bring in more candidates, more clients, more consultants, and everything that a recruitment agency needs. I'm Rich Gibbard, founder of RecBound. Hope you enjoy the show.
So what's the point in being niche?
The whole point of being niche is so that when you are solving problems, you get a lot more, probably quite a few different reasons, really.
Right.
More credibility.
Mm.
Therefore, with more credibility comes more earning potential. So you can charge more because of your credibility.
Yeah.
And where you can charge more and where you've got more credibility, it actually becomes a lot easier to pick up business when you're a specialist.
Right. Okay.
So what I mean by that is, let's look at point number one is credibility.
Mm.
The recruitment world is absolutely shy on credibility sometimes. Unfortunately, there's some amazing recruiters. The problem is that the rest of the market, the rest of the industry, 90% get such a bad reputation because they've got zero credibility in the market.
In what way?
Maybe they've been doing it 2 months, 3 months,
Mm.
and they're telling business leaders how. Used to hate this. Is I was 21 years old, and I would go and tell and advise big directors, owners of businesses how to run their business.
Yeah.
And I'd had 2 weeks worth of recruitment, life experience, let alone recruitment experience. And so I had no credibility, zero credibility whatsoever. And so unfortunately, with credibility does come time.
Mm-hmm.
And it also comes through aiming at a specific market.
So what does it mean to be niche as a business?
You can be niche in a couple of ways. I think as a business, the business itself could be relatively open. So say, for example, you're a tech recruitment agency.
Yeah.
So all you do is you place contractors, you place perm across various different tech stacks, languages, roles, functions, etc. Yeah. So as a business, tech recruitment is not niche. It's too wide. It's too much. However, the individual desks within that agency can be niche. So, for example, this is where a lot of the big companies, the S3s, Hayes, Michael Pages, is that they have incredibly tight niches that people focus on.
Right.
And so, rather than saying, Dan, right, I've got this job, and you need to go find a JavaScript developer in London.
Mm-hmm.
And then the day afterwards, right, thanks for filling that one down. Thanks for sending 3 CVs across that one.
Yeah.
What I've got is this pre-sales role over in Berlin. Would you mind going and find some pre-sales consultants for me?
Right.
And then you filled that, and then, go and do a fresh search. And then next day, well, Dan, I've got this role in New York for you. They're looking for a project manager. Would you mind going and find some project managers over in New York?
Okay.
And so what the challenge that you've got is that the company itself, they can service many different roles because they're all a lot of tech's all interlinked. But the problem is that the building up talent pools within those niches become very tough. So the desks within a recruitment company, recruitment agency, should be very niche.
Right. Okay.
And so that one recruiter, whatever their target, let's say their target's 200 grand a year, 250 grand a year, it could be smaller, it could be higher, but there should be enough of a market within their niche for them to generate a couple of $100,000 a year. If it's very lucrative and they can do a lot more, then you can build people around that and break it down even further. But it should be that specialist recruiter that has a specialist niche, that's building up a specialist set of data, that's got a specialist list of candidates, a specific set of companies, they are networking within the same space. And therefore, because they're constantly hanging around that space, they build credibility, going back to point number one.
Right, okay. So if I was, say, a tech recruiter and I'm hiring for developers, but it's a bit too generic, how would I niche down?
Again, a couple of options with that one, really.
How would I decide what to go for?
So how you could do that is by the language, tech language or role. So you could just focus, let's say, on either Python or let's say, there's a squillion languages out there, but you pick a particular language for people to work on. After that, you can then also break that down by location.
Okay.
So you only work with Python developers in the UK, or you only work with data engineers in Northeast US, or you only work with C# developers in Manchester.
Right.
Like that's how you would niche it down, really. How you choose that market, I think there's probably a few different factors. Fee size and availability of talent, demand. Probably number one is demand, really.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Is it likely that you're going to be able to hit your targets and hit your business goals in this niche? And if not, probably find a different niche.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The benefits is, well, aside from the credibility thing, what you're also looking at really is that you can justify larger fees. Like the stupid brain analogy with it falling out of your face.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's ridiculous. And it's not falling out of your face. It's falling out of your ears. But anyway, the reality is that these surgeons, they can charge more for their service because it's a specialist.
Right.
And so we work with a few clients who work in very, very particular areas. I'm not going to give them away because they're doing very, very well. But we work with some recruiters in very, very niche areas.
Yeah.
And they are charging $5,000 and $10,000 just to work on the role because they know if that client wants to go somewhere else, find a better recruiter with a better network than me. And they've got no chance. They've got absolutely no chance. They're completely embedded in that niche. And because they're embedded in that niche, that means that they can charge more for their services. They have more of a better reputation within the industry. And the good thing is that within every sector, everybody talks. And so if you do a really, really good job within a certain niche, referrals go a hell of a long way.
Okay.
And so if I was to tell you that I'm the best thing since sliced bread, you'd think I was a dickhead for saying it. However, if somebody else, if your mum, also would probably think I was a dickhead as well. But let's say Will, say Caroline, say anybody else would say, you need to work with Rich. You probably trust your friend's judgments a little bit more.
Yeah, of course.
And so that's why referrals are so important. So if you do a good job for somebody in a niche, they all hang around with each other anyway, and they're all speaking to each other. It gives you the opportunity to charge more for your services, and you get better commitment from that.
Just goes back to credibility, right?
Absolutely. The good thing about working in a niche as well is that if for some reason they're not hiring now, you've still got an opportunity to go to them with something that might add value to their network.
Right, okay.
So let's say there's a company, hiring freeze, not looking for the next 3 months. If you're still producing content on your social media, if you've still got emails going out there, if you've still got value add information that is very, very useful for your market, then when they start hiring again in 3 months and 1 day, who are they more likely to go to? They're more likely to go to that person who's been trying to add value to them and trying to offer them service and offer them help, just your general work-life hints, tips, you name it, whatever it is, because they look like a specialist. Whereas somebody who's in for a couple of days and then disappears and never to be seen of again, maybe 2 years later.
You're not going to remember them.
Exactly. Totally forgettable, unmemorable, unremarkable. And so you'll find that you've got, if you're niche, if everything that you're doing is your emails, your social media, candidates, clients, you name it, everything is geared towards that niche. Website, email signatures, banners, logo, whatever, you name it, LinkedIn groups, podcasts, etc. Everything is geared towards that niche. Play the long game, and 6 to 9 months, you'll find that you're getting so much more referrals coming back in because the people in that market don't think you're a shyster. They think that you're here to stay. Anybody who knows me really probably gets pissed off with me a little bit because I'm constantly banging on about pick a niche, have a target market, focus. So if you are looking for help, if you are looking for support on how to niche down, or even if you're in a niche already, but you're not getting the traction that you'd like, what I'd love to do, have a conversation, get in touch with me. I'll be keen to help. Otherwise, make sure you like, subscribe, comment, add your thoughts below, and catch you on the next episode.